Buddy, salute. Hey, this how I'm rocking today. This how I'm feeling. You know, salute to all of those who went and got they shirts already. All right, so I'm not into all the TMZ shit. So when Surf got locked up and all that, I'm not the dude putting out a bunch of videos on it. Motherfuckers don't even know if it was even true yet, and there was like 6 blogs out there. Anyway, he tweeted out, or somebody tweeted out. Apparently it was him, and then there was some sort of somebody put something out there that had some sort of link. And I guess the link showed some of the paperwork that it is official that Surf is out. If that is the case, that is dope. But what does that mean for Summer Impact? What does that mean for the Loaded Hollows versus gun titles? The answer to that only he knows, and only URL staff when they talk to him is gonna know for the immediate future. So this is just my take on it. I understand that. See, there's good parts and there's bad parts to the whole situation. What's the good part? The good part is he's free. Who doesn't want to see someone who they rock with, or love, however you want to put it? Who doesn't want to see them free, especially if they didn't do something crazy, left, That's a good part. The other good part is knowing that there is a family. He has a daughter. There's a family and all that have one less thing to worry about. We don't know what's going on. Was it a bail situation? Did his lawyer beat the case? Stuff like that. It's difficult when you have someone who has the rap sheet that he has, to get certain bails or to get certain things because it's parameters. But we'll get into that next. Other good thing is that there is a potential that we can still see the legendary battle we all were hoping for and we all wanted to pay for. I'm a believer that even if they charge $75 to $100 for this pay-per-view, it's a great amount of us, knowing that Surf is involved, there's a great amount of us who would still pay that because we want to see the legendary battle arguably of all time. So that's the good parts. The good parts is that we might potentially still be able to save what was built up to be the greatest battle. Definitely built up to be the greatest 2-on-2 battle ever. All right, so there's that. The bad part about it is that if he was to be able to make this battle, we have to look at it like, yo, my man, he might be taking away one of the greatest and biggest opportunities that chess will ever have in battle rap. Now, I understand some of y'all like, man, fuck that. Like, we still would rather see Surf because that's what we wanted to begin with. And I completely understand that. But what I'm saying is, it's still something major for this young man. And after so many people stressed this dude out for the last few days since they made that announcement, you think it's fair for you to attack that dude and all that shit, man, and now he can't battle? Now the biggest moment in battle rap that he's probably ever going to have, and I mean that respectfully, is going to be taken away from him. Can he be mad? No, because he wasn't scheduled to be there out the rip. But I can understand him being annoyed by it. Like, not only did he just get ridiculed, but a shining moment, arguably his biggest shining moment, might have just been swept right from under him. The reason why I don't think that I don't think that Surf is gonna be it, because again, I don't know, and most of us don't know what the information is, or what are the parameters regarding his release. But this is what I'll just say. If he's out on bail, which goes into it being a bad thing, if he's out on bail, he can't travel to another state unless they give him express written consent for him to do so. Now, the reason why I don't think that's going to happen is because of his rap sheet. He might not be, in their eyes, a flight risk, but he has enough to tell you there's a potential, let's just say they have a lot to be worried about. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I know from experience, my bails, me bailing people out, things of this nature, bails are different. Everybody thinks that there's just one bail guideline that go across the board. That's not true. It might depend on, some places it depends the county, some places it depends on the state, so on and so forth, what the guidelines are. You got federal guidelines, and again, you have Commonwealth states, you have stuff like that, who they all have their own rules. Every state have a different rule anyway, but Commonwealth states, they make their own rules, and a lot of time as they go along. I'm not saying that that's the case in Jersey. Point is, if you are out on bail, you are not, for the most part, unless again you got written consent, allowed to travel into other states. You are not allowed to even have conversations with felons. Let me say that again. You are not even allowed to have a conversation with a felon. That means if they allow you to go to an event and there are 1,000 people in that crowd, out of that 1,000 people, how many of them you believe is a felon? He can get sent right back to prison for walking out a store and holding a door for a known felon. These are facts. You don't gotta believe me. You can go look this up, and I know this firsthand. The other situation in terms of him, let's just say, and this is why I understood about the Geechee Gotti situation to a degree, but that's another topic. What happens is that if you are in another state and you are in violation of the conditions of your bail, your parole, or probation, you can get remanded. Remanded means not only putting you back in jail, but you will, depending on your situation, you will have to finish your complete sentence, right? The other things that happens in those situations is if you violate the terms of your bail, whether you go through, unless you pay that whole thing straight up cash yourself, even if you do that, you will forfeit that. It's even worse if it's coming from a bail's bondsman. A bail's bondsman, that's why certain bails, people think you automatically can go to a bail's bondsman and they're going to do it. No, that's not how the hell it works. How it works through a bail's bondsman is they put up, depending on the state and depending on the parameters, 10 to 15% of what the total bail is. They put it up for you, right? And of course, they're going to get something out of it. That's another topic. So what happened is, whatever they put up gets forfeited. Why you think the majority of them are licensed bounty hunters, or they all retain bounty hunters? Because if not, like, they lose all their money and everything up that got put up. Some judges, they will mandate that you get house arrest involved with it, right? Yeah, you out on bail, but you can't leave your house from a certain time to a certain time, and again, without written permission. And then there's situations where your bail has to do with actual property. Now, there's two parameters to that. Some people put up a property as part of a bail, and some courts mandate that you have to put up a property. So a lot of people is going to say, well, Surf should sneak over there, or it'll be worth it. Or is this one moment in battle rap worth the domino effect? The answer is no. Because all you're going to do is be showing the court that you don't give a fuck about what they're saying. Therefore, putting yourself in a space not only to get remanded, but for them to sit there and find every way to give you the harshest time and the most amount of time as possible, because you're showing that you don't learn. You're showing a blatant disrespect for their authority. Not to mention, if there's a property bond involved, you just forfeited whoever put up the property for you. You just forfeited their house. You just forfeited their land or any assets. A house isn't the only asset that could be put up in a bail bond situation, on a bailout situation. Again, that's a whole different topic. I'm just making you aware. Who knows, somebody out there might be able to use that knowledge. So overall, point is, do I want to see Surf on that stage battling Hollow and Loaded Lux? Hell yeah. But if there is any indication that he will be violating anything, you have to put battle rap to the side and deal with real life. Because real life keeps kicking Surf's ass. Whether you think it's his fault or not, that's again a different topic. You have to now get yourself in a mind frame that this shit ain't worth it. Battle rap ain't worth damaging not only the rest of your life, but how many times you gonna damage your opportunities, God's blessings, if you believe in God? How many times has God gotta bless you for you to sit there and say, yo, I'ma chill out a little bit? I know myself as a fucking knucklehead, you know what I'm saying? And I did some of that too. But then when it came to big matters like this, I remember, and that's what I said, personally, I've been through it. I remember being out on bail. I didn't fully, I signed the papers and all that shit without asking questions, without reading it or anything like that. When they were talking to me, the shit sounded like gibberish. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. I remember going into another state and there was a brawl that took place, allegedly. There's alleged brawl that took place. And it just put me in a tough situation because I wasn't supposed to be out there. But I was not aware that I was not supposed to be out there. You know, and that one situation, which was a bad one in itself, I was bailed out because of a brawl. And now allegedly another one takes place while I'm out on bail and I'm in a whole other state. That thing almost ruined my life. Almost put me away for a very long time. And luckily for me, and I remember the next time I came to see the judge and all of that, and they brought up the property situation. Now, I didn't have a property bond, but the DA was trying to say I did, clearly with no paperwork to back that up. But then it dawned on me, like, yo, was that one moment and I went out of town really to go party and shit? Was that one moment worth being remanded? Was that moment worth losing that bail's bond? Losing all that money? Because even if it's 10% or something, let's say it's a $1 million thing, that's still $100,000 right there. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So I had put up, I put up a good amount of money for my bail, and then my comrades got together the rest of the money and put it up. And like, yo, I could have not only lost all that fucking money for them, but end up in jail for a really long time and really put a dent in shit for my family. And that wasn't worth it. So imagine just for one battle that could be rescheduled. And let's be real, who isn't, I mean, if this is a successful thing, you mean to tell me URL won't do like they did with Gun Titles and WX? You mean to tell me they want to potentially try to rebook the Gun Titles versus Loaded Hollows again if it all goes well? I think there's a chance for that. So if I'm Surf, don't take the chance. Reese home, happy that you home. God bless. Straighten everything out with your family and just go by the rules, man. Don't fuck around with everything just for this one battle. It's just not worth it life-wise. Salute to everybody. Thank you for rocking with me. I'm out.